Hey folks, Lindsey Huddleston, Sports Psychology Solutions, back in the building at the Moneyball ProAm. 16th annual ProAm is getting ready to kick off. The voice you hear in the back is Mr. Desmond Ferguson, founder. But the face you see with me is Mr. Dale Beard, my guy. How you doing?
How you doing, man?
Real good, real good, real good. It's funny seeing you. We know that we're going to always see you at Moneyball, but I just had the pleasure the other day to be with your high school coach.
Wow.
George Fox. How about that? I didn't know about him. I didn't know. I mean, you would know that, a great coach would be like that, but it was Tom Crawford, who I'm sure you know. We were over at Eastern for the Eastern High School Summer League, and Tom saw Coach Fox and said, man, we got to sit down with Coach Fox. So we got to talking, and yours were one of the names that came up when he started talking about that championship run. One thing I found, Dale, talking to him, he talked about how he took you guys down to Detroit.
Yes.
Over summer. Talk to me about what that was like in 1976.
I tell you, you know what? It was great because it gave us a chance to see where we were at.
Okay.
As far as just playing wise.
Right.
Around the city, we were definitely the best team. And so once we got in the Detroit area, it was like, okay, now this is where the real basketball is played. And so, we got down there, man, just had a great time, and got the experience of, playing against other players from different cities, and I think it helped us in the long run.
So tell me in 1976, as a Lansing guy in that Detroit, that probably big world or far away, how did you feel about saying I'm about to go into Detroit? I mean, I'm from Detroit, so that's one thing, but for someone to say, hey, we about to go to Detroit, how did you feel?
It was different because we never been out of Lansing.
Okay.
So it was in Detroit. You said, oh, okay, you heard about all the great players. John Long, Terry Duran.
Yeah, Duran. What's his name?
I mean, this was like, wow, So we going down and play against, Kevin Smith. So we going down saying, okay, this is where the real ball is.
Right.
So it was different, but it was better for us because it made us better.
Yeah. Why do you think a lot of coaches didn't do things like that early on, bring their players from wherever they were to a different area to play, or was that something that happened that you just didn't hear about?
Well, I just think the team weren't that good, and so I don't think that they wanted.
It wasn't worth it on one end to bring a team somewhere because they weren't that good.
Right. It wasn't worth it to them because. We were the best team outside of Eastern. Right. With Jay Vincent and those guys over there, Victor Jackson guys. But we had the best team, so we wanted to showcase our team and our players also because we knew, we had 4, 5, 6 good players on that team. So once the other teams didn't really, come out like that. So if you think about and see some of the scores of the teams around the city. I mean, we were beating teams by 30, 40.
Coach Fox talked about in an interview, and you probably have seen it when he talked about the one game you guys kind of were holding the ball a little bit, maybe a Dean Smith basketball type thing, and he was getting some ribbing from some guys behind and saying, when you gonna let him go? He said the next game. And I think you guys played Saginaw that next game. And he said y'all ran through him, man.
We ran them out so bad because, it was like they wanted, like Coach Fox said, they wanted to see our product. Right. So he said, no, we just gonna hold the ball, pass it. So then Saginaw sit back and say, oh, okay. So when they played us, like 15, 20 minutes later, we just blew them out.
And they said there was no break in between. You had 15 minutes, you were back at it again. So tell me, go back to those days, and you're one of the guys who had that experience, and Coach Fox talked to himself about how he doesn't know how he can really coach right now or do these things, but you were there with Coach Fox, but you're here coaching too. I mean, you were part of the Everett staff. I look at you as someone who's kind of transcended generations, Dale. You were there with Irvin Magic Johnson, and you guys won that state championship, but now you're right here with Moneyball and high school players too. How do you connect those generations together? Can you even do it? What's that like?
Well, the game has changed quite naturally, and I think a lot of the same, most of the same things. A lot of the same things haven't changed.
Sure,
is what I'm saying. You're still gonna have to play defense.
Right.
Still gonna have to run plays.
Right.
So those things are gonna stay.
Playing defense and running plays. You still got to do that. You got Leonard Bush right there representing Detroit Northern checking in with us. You got legends and legends everywhere. Okay, great. Yeah, Bush is in the building. But like we said, you still got to play defense. You still got to do what?
Still got to run your offense. You still got to play that team ball. So So those things hasn't changed.
If you want to win.
If you want to win.
Right.
What happens is the more now as you get more guys, more big guys, 6'11", 7-footers, they're shooting threes, and so that's kind of taking like the mid-sized guys out of the game a little bit, like 6'6", 6'7" guys.
Sure, those tweeners they call them. Yeah,
right, and that's why it's difficult now for some of the guys coming out of college that don't have the range of a 3-point shot to make it in some of these in the NBA today.
Right,
and so even in college, these guys they have to work on those things because now if you're going to make it, that's what's going to take.
So your sheer athleticism, the fact that you can jump out the gym is not enough?
In some instances, but it just depends on where you go. Right. If you're a right fit for a team, I look at a guy like Draymond Green.
Right.
Look at how he's blossomed. As a great player he is. You look at you even look at Gary Harris. Gary Harris. I thought Gary was always a great player.
And if we want to call success based on how much money you make, he sure got a big contract. He's doing good with that.
Yes.
Right. One of the things Coach Fox talked about was the mid-range game going away. Guys weren't shooting that 15-footer. He even talked about the fact, and this is a simple but powerful thing. He said Michigan State beat Duke, and Duke had 3 lottery picks on their team. Make that make sense to me, Coach.
Yeah. Well, when you get out of what you've been doing, all year, it has a tendency of wearing on you down the stretch. And so if a team you're playing is playing well that night, you're easy to get beat. And just like when Dez and I were coaching at Everett, they had the teams that
you guys made that Final Four run.
We made a Final Four run. You had East Lansing was ranked all year, but we stuck to our game plan. And I think same with the Duke and Michigan State game. I think they were playing more for themselves instead of just that team ball that they were playing. So therefore, when you do that, sometimes that doesn't add up.
Right. So you're saying a consistent game plan can really get you through over an even more athletic team or something like that?
Yeah, for sure. Because you know what you can do. Because you're not worried about too much of what they're doing. You got to worry about what you're doing.
I get it. Wow, there's so much history. There's so much going on. Let's talk a little bit more about what's happening with basketball today. All the great basketball guys who sit down, including Coach Fox and Tom Crawford. When I talked to them the other day, I posed this question to them, Coach. I say, if you were put on a committee that includes the NBA, NCAA, and high school basketball, a committee that was going to make changes that were to the betterment of the game, what are some of the things that you would promote on that committee?
Probably the three-point line.
The three-point line.
The three-point line, and I know everybody said, "Oh no, that's part of the game." But coming up, when we came up, the three-point game was non-existent.
At all. There was no three-point line. So remind me again about when that got introduced. The three-point line when it was mainstream.
I believe that was in I want to say 86.
Okay, almost 10 years after you won a state championship. Right. So you were far removed. By this time, were you still playing internationally when it was introduced?
Yeah, I was over in Sydney, Australia.
Okay.
I spent 8 years over there.
Okay.
And the experience over there was great. I mean, you just didn't have that feel of that NBA action because the lead over there was not a strong lead at that time.
Oh, I get it.
But today it is. But just the experience of going over there and playing that type of European basketball was a great experience. But it taught me a lot.
Sure. I bet. That's the point. I'm sitting here with Dale Beard, a really good guy, a really good friend. I've been knowing Dale since I've been in the Lansing community. I was on the 1977 Everett High School championship team. He has a friend, we all know him as Magic. He calls him Irvin. He goes, he said, no, I know it was Irvin. And I tell you what, and don't blow him up, but he calls and he picks up the phone. That's your guy. Talk about what that relationship is like when you have someone who probably was a star then, but now is beyond a megastar. What's it like having a relationship with someone like that from childhood on?
It's great, man. He's taught me a whole lot in my life. from where he came from and where actually we both came from, started from. As having two big families, both having big families.
Oh, I didn't know you have a big family too.
Yeah, family of 10.
Okay.
And I know. And his father actually is from the same hometown of my parents from Mississippi.
And you guys made your way up here somehow.
Made a way up here.
Oh wow.
And it just. The things he taught me, man, like I say, just being out in L.A., hanging out with him, just playing all the years with him, pick up basketball, what have you. He was just showing me, it's a lot of business side of things outside of basketball.
Right.
So being with him, man, is great, man. I couldn't pick a better friend.
When I think of you telling that story about being out in L.A. and being around, what advice can you give to someone who has a famous friend? What advice can you give to them as it relates to being able to be a good friend to them, but also allow them to be in their element? And I can't even imagine what it's like if Magic Johnson is your home. But what advice can you give? Because you got all these young men and women, or young men in particular, who are getting ready to go into the pros, and their life is changing so fast. But what advice can you give someone?
Stay humble, man. Stay humble. I mean, that's going to be more important than anything. Everybody over the years, man. Hey, man, have Everett got you this? Have Everett brought you this?
Yeah.
Why aren't you living in L.A.? I've heard that for years, but that's not something that our friendship was based on. You know what I mean? And so that's why we stayed friends as long as we have, because some of our friends that we grew up with, they're not around.
So you're talking about a friendship that's 40 plus years, because you guys won the championship in '77. Well, like you met them the first of the year, you knew him even before then, right?
Right. Actually, we knew each other in junior high school.
Oh, get out of here! So you're going on maybe close to 50 years of friendship there. Oh, okay. We're not gonna start counting. That's what people start counting. Right. That's good. I think that's really good advice. Yeah. Well, we're here at the Moneyball ProAm. I want to keep you around. You don't got to rush off real quick, do you? Want to keep you here for a second?
Okay.
Yeah. Moneyball ProAm, sponsored by Securian Financial Services. Securian Financial Advisors of the Great Lakes. Our good friend Forrest Boyer, his son Forrest Jr. is playing. How do you feel, Coach, when you see these young guys transition from being high school players that you coach to come out here playing on the Moneyball floor?
I think it's great because for me, I think they really inhale some of the things we taught them.
Okay.
And I look at them now and how they matured, which that's what you're supposed to do. But then sometimes they get distracted and go the other way.
Sure.
But I look at them now and say, wow, what a project we put out there. And to see it develop, it feels great, man. So that's some more of the main things.
Coach, I'm a friend. Oh, big dunk. Nope. I would never set you up, but I'm going to ask you a little hot question. You see yourself coaching again?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think,
talk about that a little bit.
Dez and I both got busy, after our 5th year.
It was 5 years over at Everett.
It was 5 years at Everett.
2 Final Four runs.
2 Final Four runs.
And no one expected you guys even do the first one.
Especially the second year when Trevor Emanuel and all.
Yeah, when they left. Yeah.
And so, we just fought hard. Our record was 10-10 that second year after Trevor and them left. Right. So we were able to, build a relationship with the guys coming back that following year.
Okay.
And we had 7 of those guys that were on the team the year before that, so they knew what it took to get back there.
Well, if I could just add, because I still want to stay on this idea about you and coaching and what's going on. Going back to what your coach said, you guys made a run the year no one expected to. So is that about having a championship culture, just like the Golden State Warriors a few years ago? Right. It's like when you instill a culture, no matter who's there, you still get that kind of success. Does that make sense that you can have that after the fact?
You can. And even after losing like Irvin, Larry, Paul, Jamie Hoffman, the 4 starters, I was the 5th guy. Right. We still had guys that were on the bench that probably could have started anywhere else in the state.
Sure.
And so, but they just didn't get put out there like that because Coach Fox only played 7 or 8 guys. So those guys that the 10th, 11th, or 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th guy didn't really play that much, but they could play because they pushed us every day.
Right. And he said you guys practice more than you play games too.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We practiced. We ran drills.
Right.
we didn't have a lot of AAU stuff because that wasn't really in.
Right.
We just played, man, and just made each other better.
That's good. Okay, let's get back to it. As we see Calvin, one of the long-standing officials out here. That's my guy, Calvin. Chenier as well. So what is it going to take to get you to coach again? What does it have to look like for you?
You know, I've been, just thinking about it.
And let me just stop. This man has won the state championship. This man has played overseas. This man has taken a high school team to the state championships when no one's expecting that. So I say that not just because he's a cool guy and he dressed real nice. I'm saying you have the pedigree and you've seen it on every level. So with that being said, what will it take? And I'll be quiet and let you talk now.
Well, you got to love it, man. You got to want to do it. You got to have that love for the game. I mean, I look at a lot of coaches, high school, college, and professionally. And, they give up because the team, are not that good over the years. They just feel like, it's a waste. So I just think you have to love the game, man. I love the game, and I've been out 2 years now, and I figure it's time to get back into it, regroup, get back into it. And as a matter of fact, I'll probably take this summer to kind of get my game plan as far as practice scheduling and stuff like that. So,
you're going to act like you got it already. Well, let me ask you this. What's the mile radius as far as how far you want to go? Excuse me.
Man.
We got to be practical.
You know what? Hey, I don't know. I don't know.
Well, I guess the right fit will determine that.
Yeah, if the right fit, you know what I mean? I think that, kids need it, and I think, with the influence I have in the Lansing area with kids, with parents, teachers, and those type of people, I think, it'll probably last a little longer.
Right.
Because they believe in me and I believe in them. So once you get those two things together, man, you have a lot of success.
That's good. That's good. I'm sitting here with Dale Beard, really good friend, FOM, a friend of Moneyball too, him and Desmond Ferguson. We're here for the first Moneyball game, and this is actually, an Ohio-Michigan game. What do you think about that, Dale?
It's great. I mean, I think it's giving Des and the Moneyball ProAm a good look, a different look.
Yeah.
And I think, tonight you can tell by the crowd it's a good turnout.
Right.
And, people in Lansing love basketball. So, if it's good, they're going to come out and see it.
Right.
And if it's terrible, they're not.
They're going to let you know about it.
They'll let you know about it.
They'll vote by not being here. So with that, we're going to get ready to sign off. But before I do go, I want to make sure we can have some words from Dale to wrap up. But I just want to say it's always been great working with you, seeing you on the scene. I know you're all about giving back to the young people. And I think people don't know what they have in you as a resource. So hopefully someone's smart enough to check that out. So anything you want to say as we get ready to sign off?
Well, like I said, man, I just, want to give back to the community, the kids, man. I want to do anything I can do to help out these kids and make sure they go to the right direction, man. Because we have so many kids that are just, going that wrong path.
Yeah.
So I want to try to make sure that doesn't happen. So, those things. If I can achieve those things, man, that'd be great.
That's it. Well, you heard it here, guys. Lindsey Huddleston and Dale Beard signing off at the Moneyball ProAm. Check it out, pass it on, and somebody needs to get this guy to be their head coach. All right, I'll see you.
Appreciate it.
Be good. Appreciate you.